切来放松。
My name is Brian Jemba. I'm the owner of Phoenix Comics Northwest. I discovered comics really when I started working here. I got initially hired here because I was into magic cards, but ever since I then discovered comics and started reading comics and fell in love, and now I'm a big comic fan.
So my name is Oliver, and I'm the manager at Phoenix Comics Northwest. So the original owner, he dropped out of university. He wasn't enjoying his business classes that he was taking and decided to just see what he could do. Yeah, ended up having really good timing. It was kind of a big boom for comics in the early 90s there, and collectible cards and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was actually the first employee he ever hired that was younger than the store by about a year there, so yeah.
I started working here 13 years ago. Over time, I got promoted to be the manager of the store, and I was the manager of the store for I think 7 or 8 years. And then eventually the previous owner decided that he wanted to retire, and the opportunity came up to buy the store from him. So I did, yeah.
I'm the owner and founder of Words and Pictures. Been around since 1987, and basically grew up reading comics and loving them, and tired of doing construction work and thought, why not open a comic book store? We were like the second one in Calgary. Another Dimension was first. I talked to all the different shop owners that have been around for more than a couple of years anyways. I don't know the new guys very well. Well, my dad was into comics. He would buy comics for himself, which he said was ours, but so I didn't actually grow up reading superhero comics at all. There's so much good stuff in the industry other than superhero books that is amazing reads.
When I was a kid, I was like an avid reader. Just when I got into comics initially, it kind of brought them into a new light. Just the way take the words off the page, they have the art that's kind of doing it for you, and while still delivering a lot of times just as quality of a story, just presented in a different format. Quite young, I started to read comic adaptations of novels I had read. It was really cool to see the characters represented in ways that maybe I hadn't envisioned them, and that sort of stuff. So that's kind of what drew me into them initially. Yeah, my favorites are James Tynion and Jeff Lemire. Pretty much anything that they write, I'll check it out regardless of genre. So.
I wholeheartedly believe that high tides raise all boats. So when the comic industry is strong, we're all strong. And when the comic industry is suffering, well, we're all suffering. I think if you're a news store, it's exceptionally tough. Considering Phoenix has been around for a long time and we have a good core client base, it's not so bad for us. There is some turmoil with regards to distribution. One of the main comic book distributors, Diamond, has declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and a lot of publishers have been jumping to other distributors. There's some scary points, but in general, I don't think stores like this will ever die.
Comics go through these scares all the time, but I mean, we're still surviving after all this time, right? But 2016, 2017, and that's when Marvel especially really started the push for their digital comic version online and that kind of stuff, and every single paper comic that you purchased came with a code. When that first started happening, we definitely noticed a few file customers, subscription customers dropping a few titles, but that really only lasted a few months before they quickly realized a lot of the charm with comics and collectibles is the actual tangible product, and you miss a lot of that when it's on the digital screen. Of course, you know, there are people that prefer it, but I would say for every 10 people that try the digital side, 9 of them have come back to paper.
People that currently collect comics, collect physical comics, I don't think they ever just abandon that and then only read digital. Most of the time, people that get introduced to comics via just the digital comics, sometimes they'll switch over the other way. So ultimately, having digital comics is good. In terms of customers shopping for comics online and getting them shipped to them, in the digital age in 2025, all these businesses slowly transition to that sort of model, and that sort of model makes a lot of sense in 2025.
The superhero movies have definitely not helped the business at all. If you see a movie, will you read a book afterwards? And comics are the same. If you've gone and seen the Avengers, you feel like you already know what the Avengers are and what the comics have to offer, so you don't bother to come in and buy the books to see what else there is. It's a shame. It's making the store industry much harder. There are a few movies people went, oh, that's a comic? I wonder what else they have. But I think the superhero movies have driven people away from the superhero books anyways.
Losing an institution like Another Dimension matters. I mean, am I gonna get a little bit more business because they're shut down? Probably. But in general, there's good people there. You know, there's good people that shop there. They're a cool store. They've got lots of cool stuff in there. Yeah, it's ultimately it's a net negative for the community in the city, I think.
Understand their reasoning for it. They're my age and their lease was up, but it will hurt the industry. I wouldn't be surprised if half their customers just stop reading comics once they close.
So by diversify, you could be a store that does lots of back issues, because generally margins on back issues are quite good. There's that. You can diversify kind of into more and other comics. But in general, you can't just do new issues. You can't just do graphic novels. For us, about half of our business is comics. Comics, graphic novels, and that sort of thing, and then half of our business is trading cards now. You have to diversify to stay alive. You know, the comic book industry is too unpredictable. Like, you have to kind of hedge into other avenues to make money.
So we try to do Fan Expo every year. We usually do Edmonton as well. There's Auton in Calgary, and then Animathon up in Edmonton there too. There's our sister store down south. They're just Phoenix Comics Southwest there. So we usually partner up with him, and then maybe another comic shop. That way we can have a nice big open table, and then offer a variety of products. Everybody here has a common interest. We all are just kind of trying to get collectibles and comics into people's hands, and if we are able to help each other facilitate that, then we'll do that for sure. Support the community. The big conventions is time that everybody comes together, and you always go to all the other booths and say hi to everybody, and we're all friends for sure. So.
We're very old school. If you miss how comic stores originally were, we're probably the closest example in Calgary for that experience. I guess it's the love of the medium. I'm not freaking out every night and thinking about, I gotta do this tomorrow at work. I've been in it for almost 40 years now, so I'm too old to find something new, I guess. The smell has changed in comic book stores. It used to be old newsprint when you'd walk in the door, and with the new paper now, it's missing.
Ultimately, this is my dream. I love this stuff. This is awesome. I didn't think I would actually buy this store. I thought that a few years down the line, I would get some experience and open my own store. About 6 or 7 years into working here, I went to the previous owner and I asked him, hey, I want to open my own shop. I don't have money to do that, but you have a lot of money. Can you help fund this? I'll do everything, and you just have to put up the finances. And that's when he said, hey, no, I'm not going to do that, but I plan on retiring in a few years. So if you just hold out, I'll just sell it to you.
I feel like we definitely offer almost like an escape for people, You can come here and get lost in a book, or, talk about your favorite card game and trade the cards and kind of just get lost in that world for a little bit and not think so much about your day-to-day life or whatever. And for sure people come here all the time and just come to chat and say hi and make sure that we're doing good as well. People walking home on 16th Ave and they're regulars and they just poke their head in, just saying hi, and then they'll carry on their way or whatever. And we love that boost of some human contact as well,
So I guess there's a comic for everybody out there. Whether if you've never read a comic and you don't think it's for you, if you go into a shop, the owner should be able to find you something that you will really enjoy and maybe hook you in the industry. Comics have such a wide variety of art that a lot of young kids just love comic book drawing, and A lot of artists have sprung out just from the love of comic books. And there's a lot of educational value in comics as well as enjoyment, and I think it's somebody everyone should try or something. Yeah.
Comics are not going anywhere. The comic book industry isn't going anywhere. There's tons of other industries that have experienced turmoil and they have come out on the other side. With how much interest there is in heroes and stuff like that, whether that's with movies or shows or whatever, comics are here to stay forever. And if comics are here to stay forever, Phoenix is here to stay forever.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Morpheus Theaters. My name's Sean Anderson. I'm Morpheus Theaters Artistic Director. And as you can see, you've come on a very special night. Today is actually Morpheus Theaters' 30th anniversary today. So we've been putting on shows like this for a long time. In fact, 20 years ago, back on this stage, the director of today's show was actually playing one of the characters in it. So a nice full circle moment there. Morpheus didn't start out as Morpheus. When I was in my 4th year of university, my drama teacher from high school, Richard Michelle Pentelbury, he introduced me to 2 of his former students. And they wanted to start a theater company for teenagers. End of June, beginning of July, we presented our first 2 one-act plays, which was going to be the first of 6 productions in 12 months.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, the 2 other co-founders backed out. So I committed to keep it going for the rest of the year, and then I wanted to see it through to 5 years, and I never imagined I'd still be doing this 30 years later. But it all started because my drama teacher introduced me to 2 other students who wanted to create this company.
The friendships that you form because you're working so closely for such a short period of time, all with the same goal in mind, through all the blood, sweat and tears that you have put forth for the past 3 months. Everyone's really proud of themselves and have gained that confidence and gained new friendships that you can pull from these friendships for whatever production you're doing or in life.
Well, I've always loved community theatre. I was trained in theatre when I was younger, and I started working as a professional actor. But once I had a family, I knew I needed to focus on raising my children and making sure that I could pay the bills. So I had to step away from that on a full-time position. And now that my kids are grown, it's afforded me time to come back to the theatre. That was a promise I'd always made to myself.
We were there, we were playing those roles, and it just, I don't know, it just seems so wonderful.
It's like, consider it one of my niches here in Calgary, and well, it's just part of life and something I imagine that I'll always have an interest in.
You know, friends and family, I do find that when I'm engaged in this kind of production, it takes me away a lot from friends and family. So as soon as a production like this is done, I dive right back into that and soak up all of the things that I've put on hold for, you know, a number of months to get this show ready.
I think the biggest supportive thing that I've gotten from theater is watching the smile on my partner's face, because this is truly her love. And honestly, I think that I would do anything for her, so watching her smile, watching her glow with this and enter into her realm, her true skin is quite something. It's quite fantastic.
Well, I actually loved performing as a child. My sisters and I would put on skits and things like that. And then through high school, I did lots of theater, went to theater school and got professional training. I believe truly that if you have a passion for theater, that you have to have an outlet for it. And so that's why I'm in community theater. As far as how it affects my personal life, it is an outlet that I absolutely need. I know if I have not done a show for a while, I'll start to feel stagnant and like I just don't have the joy that I normally have.
Well, Morpheus is really a super welcoming and kind place to learn and to experience. The people who are involved with Morpheus, I have always loved them. They have always been very good to me and to each other. I've never had a show with them, and I love doing lighting design, so it's really a pleasure to get to work with them. It's only good vibes and good people, and it's really awesome. It's like a family.
Theater informed my life in terms of where I could go and what I felt confident doing. So public speaking, for example, right? Like as a teacher, you're public speaking all the time. And that wouldn't have happened if I had stayed in the back of the classroom and not auditioned for Guys and Dolls, which was the show that was going up in my high school that year.
One thing nice about community theater is everybody's here because they want to be. And so they have a passion for it. And as a result, you get the help you need, and everything comes together eventually, even if it at times seems like that might not be possible.
I mean, theater's my whole life, really. And I've spent all of my years working basically in theater. And I spend my free time in theater and my side gigs in theater.
It's a full-time hobby.
I know
It's a full-time hobby.
It's the joy.
Yeah.
It's also what we enjoy doing. So being able to help ourselves but everybody else.
So in 30 years, I see myself still very active in theater, whether it's as an audience member or hopefully, if there's still those roles available, I will be on the stage continuing to expand the practice and bring joy to many audiences.
Maybe a grandmother, introducing my grandchildren to the world of community theatre or the world of theatre in general.
I'll probably still be here doing Gilbert and Sullivan.
I will be still around to support Wynn in that endeavor with our kids growing up with the Gilbert and Sullivan Juniors program. Maybe they'll get involved with Morpheus Theatre in the future.
Oh gosh, I really hope I'm still in theater. I love it so much. I hope to continue doing community shows as long as I can and to keep working in theater. That would be awesome. I love lighting and I love Morpheus.
I picture doing this for the rest of my life, honestly. It's just the roles will change, the challenges will be different, and I picture myself on a stage much like this for years to come.
I'll still be building sets. I'll still be painting sets. I'll still be moving furniture. And I'll still be holding her hand when she hears the words no.
So in 30 years, I'll probably be 87. I might be in theater still. If I have the capacity, I'm always going to do it.
Oh, probably directing for Morpheus Theatre. I would love to direct and be in lots of shows, continue to be in shows within Calgary and maybe the rest of Alberta. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, at my age, I see myself dead. But if I can, I'll still be doing set construction.
I can't imagine that I would make it to 30 years.
You'll be like hobbling around, directing strike with your cane. You go over there, you go over there.
Yeah, my name's Brady. I'm the stage manager here at Morpheus Theatre. This is my first show with Morpheus, actually.
I'm Christy Johnson. I'm a costume designer.
My name's Kat, and I am doing the lighting design for Steel Magnolias.
My name is Teresa Byrne. This will be my third season with Morpheus Theatre.
My name is Harlan Sterner, and I'm the set constructor.
My name is Heather Skolsky, and I have been doing community theatre, if you include school theatre, which I do, since I was 5 years old.
My name is Dave Mullaney, and I am here to help build sets.
I'm Derek Wilkinson. I have been doing theater with Morpheus for about 5 years now.
My name's Gary. I've been doing Morpheus for 15 years.
My name is Leanne Million, and I think I've done about 5 shows with Morpheus Theater.
I'm Wynn, and I've been involved with Morpheus Theater since 2008.
My name's David. I'm Wynn's husband. I've been involved with Morpheus Theater since 2008 as well.
Hi, my name's Margaret. I've been with Morpheus for almost 20 years now.
I'm Jennifer Andrew, and I've been doing community theatre, I guess, about 20 years.
Hi, my name's Angela Woodard. I am directing the production of Steel Magnolias, and I'm also set designer and set deck and props.
My name is Jeanette Simino, and I'm the operations manager at Morpheus Theater.
I'm Sean Anderson, Morpheus Theater's artistic director and founder.
We're living in Rome. The king's in
Calgary is home to many secrets and hidden mysteries. The places that still stand from long ago hold secret residents, ones that many try to hide. But secrets don't always stay hidden. The Bank and Baron pub is one of Calgary's most haunted locations, concealing eerie mysteries hidden from the living. Calgary was once known as the City of Sandstone. Sandstone is believed to trap spirits and energies, much like water. And with Calgary sitting between two rivers, the city itself may hold deep supernatural presence. The Bank and Baron originally opened as the Bank of Nova Scotia in 1930. It operated until 1976 before transforming into the Cha-Cha Palace, and later the Bank nightclub.
Absolutely, I definitely believe in ghosts. Even it's been affirmed. It's no longer like, oh, it's something that I feel is right. Now I have concrete, evidence that there's some mob out there.
It is at the Bank nightclub that these hauntings are believed to begin.
I've only felt about two energies here. The first one is the Baron, and he's the one that's kind of cheeky and turns on and off the TVs. And then the second one is the female presence that we believe is the lady that lost her life in the bathrooms. But with that said, I don't feel that they're negative or mischievous. They're just here, existing.
In the late 1990s, the nightclub's washroom became the site of a tragic and violent event, ending a woman's life. There is a female spirit that is said to linger. It is believed to be the woman that was murdered in 1996. The details of her death remain unclear, as some say she was stabbed in the throat with a stiletto, while others claim she was brutally beaten. But she isn't the only ghostly presence. Another spirit known as the Baron is said to haunt the building. Little is known about the Baron. Reports of the Baron's presence in the Bank and Baron pub suggest he has a habit of turning TVs on upstairs without anyone touching them.
First time I actually had a haunted experience was in my first couple of months here. I was upstairs behind the bar washing some glassware, and it was after close, so there was not many people in the building besides myself and a couple other staff members. And on the corner of my eye, I could see just like a shadow figure go from like one corner of my eye to the other, and when I looked up, there was nothing there.
Some people are afraid of ghosts, as they are unknown, but the ghosts of the Bank and Baron are not ones to fear. The ghosts that reside at the Bank and Baron may be lost or may be stuck there, but that is for others to decide.
My other haunted experience is it was, again, after work, after we've closed down. Me and my other staff members were sitting in the corner upstairs doing some cutlery at the end of the night, and we were talking about, kind of joking around, how the Baron hasn't been really active in a while, and we haven't really experienced anything in a bit. And at that point, all of the TVs in the building were off. And about 10 minutes later, we looked upstairs on the second floor, and the Baron has turned on his favorite two TVs that he likes to turn on every time we talk about him. And then a friend of mine actually came to pick me up as we were going somewhere after work. And he was sitting at that same table that has a TV directly above it. And he was kind of joking around about how the Baron likes to turn on and off the TVs. And as he was saying that, the TV above him turned on, which, if that's not, a crazy experience, I don't know what is. And also, I've had other staff members that have had experiences as well as guests.
It would not be surprising if other ghosts reside around the Bank and Baron, as it was by the original railway.
With the Baron, it's his pride and joy. That's his space. We still have his portrait upstairs. I think he just wants to make sure that things are, still running right here. Where with the lady or the female presence, I personally believe that she's just lost. She hasn't been able to find her way to, the other side. She's just kind of stuck here for a bit.
Many wonder what is original to the building from the 1930s. The teller tables are still standing, but now as bar tables. The vault is also original. They were able to keep some brass pieces on the wall by the kitchen. The men's washroom stalls are also original. The ceiling and marble floors are also all original but have been reclaimed. A cool fact about the walls and ceilings is that they are made out of clay, which was made of horsehair, cow hooves, and different muds. The ceiling filigree is original and was made from a press mold. It would take several days to do about 8 feet, as people working on it had to be standing on scaffolding. The Bank and Baron pub holds history as it is a great representation of the Art Deco period. The building being different to others, showing that history still hides right in front of us, and the places of history hold spirits and memories from long ago. But you're going to have to visit it yourself to tell us if you really believe it is haunted.
Yes, I absolutely believe the Bank and Baron is haunted.
All right, guys, let's go. Lights ready, camera ready, action.
Develop your senses.
Produce your art. Project your confidence.
Analogue by Philip.
Every year, an estimated 42 million birds die in window collisions in Canada alone. Not to their natural predators, but in the places that we have built from the ground up. The cities that we have built. Spaces we've created are having a deadly impact on our avian fauna, which have shared this land with us for centuries. A staggering 54% to 76% of these collisions are fatal, and for the birds that survive, the consequences are no less severe. And it's not just the towering skyscrapers in the city, but the low-rise buildings and the residential neighborhoods. Places we don't often consider when thinking about the harm that we are causing. These deaths are not random. They are the direct result of the environment that we have built. The highly reflective glass of our buildings, the light pollution from our streets, and the homes cause confusion for the birds, disrupting their natural instincts and leading them straight into danger. Their world and their flight paths have become a maze of invisible barriers. So what can we do? How do we help these small creatures who have given us so much with their songs, their migratory patterns, and their countless cultural achievements? To see this in action, we joined Calgary Urban Species Response Team member Anne Borschner on the field survey during a journey. What are some of, the more common species of birds that you find?
Well, we do pick up primarily songbirds. So we see a lot of sparrows, different kinds of sparrows, and finches are the other one. And occasionally we find larger birds, but mostly songbirds. We find warblers, just about any of the smaller songbirds that you can think of.
When you find these birds, what kind of condition are they in?
Well, most of them are not in great condition. We either find them deceased or they're very stunned. And if they're stunned, it usually means we can catch them easier, which is a very bad sign. If you can catch a wild bird that easily, it's obviously very seriously injured. And so even the birds that we do find alive, they may look completely normal on the outside. I had one in the fall, for example, that we took to the wildlife rehabilitation, and it had blood in its ears, blood in its mouth, And it had a couple of other entries that I couldn't tell just by looking at the bird. So lots of times people will find birds that have hit their houses and they'll think, oh, the bird's just fine. But in fact, they're not. Even if the bird flies off, it's usually flying off to die somewhere else. So, people interpret that ability to fly off as the bird is okay. But in fact, it's not, and most of them have very serious concussions.
With this question answered, I hopped on a call with Professor David M. Bird. Maybe you could shine a little bit of light on your expertise. Why don't birds recognize windows as obstacles?
Well, basically, these windows, they're just, there's two reasons why the birds can hit these windows. One of them is that they simply are frightened by something. Say they're at a bird feeder, or say a hawk or a cat shows up and they need to escape. And so they think that the window is not there. It's basically an invisible wall. These birds have no ability to be able to tell there's glass there. So that's one way. A second way is that some of these glass windows often present an image of of foliage. Like basically it's a reflection of their surroundings, and they think that there is actually clear sky there, like they can see clouds, or they might see trees or whatever, and so they basically think they can fly there.
Do you find that some bird species are better at avoiding windows than others?
I'd have to say that the only birds that avoid hitting windows are birds that don't live anywhere near windows. And I don't know of any bird that would have any special ability to recognize the fact that glass is there. The glass is a very indiscriminate killer of birds. And there really isn't any way for them to detect that, especially if they're flying in fast motion.
How significant is the role of window collisions in the overall decline of bird populations in urban centers?
The top researcher in this, Dan Clem, personal friend of mine, he has done some very, very scientific-based estimates of mortality in the United States. And he reckons, he first started out by saying about 100 million birds are killed in glass collisions each year in the U.S. alone.
100 million.
But he's 100 million, but he's now leaning toward 1 billion birds each year.
1 billion.
You have to understand that when we talk about glass here, we're not just talking about the glass windows on people's cottages and on their houses and so on in a residential area. We're also talking about these huge skyscrapers that are basically built out of glass. I'd say that I think the most important thing to think about is this mortality from the windows, is it additive? Meaning, do you add it on to all the other things that kill birds, or does it compensate? In other words, if the birds didn't die of this, they would die of something else. And the fact is that windows are totally indiscriminate. They don't care about age, experience, sex, any of that stuff. And so basically, you have to consider this to be an additive mortality. You add it on to everything else that's killing birds off.
I headed down to the Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society to talk to Melanie Whalen. How often do these birds survive?
So the average is about 40% overall, if you're looking at them overall. We found when we developed the response team that the faster we were getting birds and bats into care, the higher success rate we had. So our first year, with the 25 birds that came in, we released 24 of those. So we had a really high success rate.
That's amazing.
But the action has to be quick. So if you're able to treat quickly, then they have a higher recovery, obviously. And then of course the impact. So the higher the impact to the bird, the less chance that animal's going to be able to survive.
Mm-hmm. So what is the recovery time like? Look for birds that are in your facility that have hit windows and are able to be released.
For birds, usually that period is usually 3 to 7 days. Mm-hmm. So if we'll start seeing improvement. You might not see it right away. Mm-hmm. It could take 3 days before you start seeing improvement. But as we're seeing some improvement, usually most birds are improved by day 7. And then we can do the flight testing and then we can release. Some birds take a little bit longer, but we do have to see an improvement. If that improvement kind of stalls, then we have to make a decision at that point.
Where do the birds go that can't be released into the wild?
So the birds that can't be released back into the wild, we have to really assess what quality of life is going to be. If that quality of life is going to be poor, then the best treatment we can offer is humane euthanasia. In some very select cases, if a bird has had some head trauma, but its quality of life is going to be okay, and it can support a breeding program, for example, within a zoo, or some sort of breeding program. There's some of BC as well too. Then we will look at potentially transferring those animals into a zoo facility or breeding program.
What can we do as Calgarians if we see a bird that has hit a window, or we have seen a bird hit a window? What's the process that we should follow?
Yeah, so the process would be is to contact Calgary Wildlife immediately. That phone number is 403-214-1312. We can get somebody out there immediately to respond to the bird. You can also place a box over the bird until somebody can get there, so that prevents any predation if there's outside cats or anything like that, or even other birds of prey, while somebody's able to get to that bird. The old school thought was to leave the bird there and it eventually will fly away. And often what happens is birds will fly away through, their adrenaline will cause them to fly, but they end up flying away and they have multiple injuries that don't get treated. So the best recourse is just to contact your closest rehabber. In Calgary, it's Calgary Wildlife. If you're in any other cities outside of Calgary, just contact your closest rehab. Because the faster the bird gets into the care, better.
Hockey culture is people like to get under your skin, they like to chirp you. When you're the only minority on the ice, that's kind of like the easiest thing for them to attack is your race.
Being told go bomb something, stuff like that. Handshake lines. Somebody will say, we're not coming to your barber shop.
One of the players on our team came up to me and said, hey, he's actually saying a bad word about you, like the color of your skin.
I've been playing hockey since I was about 8 or 9, so probably around like 15 years now.
Hockey's been a part of my life as long as I can remember. Started playing when I was about 3 years old and now 25, so I guess 22 years.
I remember being in those places and walking into a dressing room or a locker room full of guys that I didn't know, and I think the first thing that was asked of me was if I knew this other kid that they know who's Asian that played hockey, or if I was related to them. I remember the worst one being one time we were playing against this like kind of small town farm team, and I remember I was having a really good game, and all of a sudden I kept hearing like chirps from the other team's bench being like, get the Asian kid, get the Asian kid. And one of the kids like came right up to me and confronted me on the ice and was like swearing at me, calling me like effing chink. And then I finally kind of got set off and I ended up getting in a fight with that guy. And after the game, one of my coaches came up to me because I'm not a fighter at all. And so he was like, what made you get into a fight? And I told him what had happened. And he was angry and he went over to the other team's locker room after the game and had a conversation with their coaches and told them everything that happened. And when the other team's coach heard that, went into the dressing room, came out and was like, nope, the kid said he didn't do that. And that was kind of like the end of the story. I'm pretty sure the coach could have cared less.
When we first start, very young, you don't really know what's going on, but get into it a couple of years and you'll kind of notice that you look a lot different than a lot of the people in the dressing room, and kind of see they all gather together and you're kind of on your own. On ice, there's definitely a lot that goes on, a lot of chirping, being called racial slurs.
A lot of the times, because I saw it a lot and I saw it with myself and with other people, the culture was just shake it off, brush it off. This is what you have to deal with. I never usually brought it up with people. The attitude around it was that you kind of just like ignore it and deal with it.
It hurts, you're kind of in shock. You're not expecting it. You're there to enjoy your time, be with your friends, and then somebody comes out and kind of bashes you or bashes your culture, your background. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, and you don't really know what to say. So when you're younger, you're almost embarrassed, is how I felt. So bringing it up to somebody was kind of out of the question. Just kind of wanted to brush it off. You think, oh, it's not. It'll just go away. But you slowly realize that it never really does go away.
It definitely would have made a difference if there was someone who was kind of advocating for change in that area. But I think it's actually a lot more powerful when people kind of advocate for each other within the community, and whether that's like a coach or your own teammates. I think people standing up for you and standing up for that kind of thing within that space is a lot more powerful.
Do you know Dampy?
I do. He's a good friend. He does a lot of community work.
My name is Dampy Brar. I'm currently an assistant coach for the USEP team prep for Okanagan Hockey Academy. Also run my own South Asian Hockey Network program, and I'm the founder for that. I grew up in Spork, BC, in the Elk Valley. I would watch kids play road hockey in front of my house. So when I used to watch them play, I was only like 4 years old. A lot of my older friends were playing, and so I would just sit there and watch. And I think my dad caught wind of that. He got me a plastic hockey stick with 2 pucks, and I still remember that. And he gave it to me, and I went to the basement, and there was a milk crate, and I was shooting pucks, the plastic pucks at that. When I grew up, I can openly say that racial discrimination was prevalent. When I was 8 years old is when the first time I heard a word, and I didn't know what that meant. I scored a goal, and he started yelling at me, screaming at me. Hearing a parent say a racial slur to me before a game, that was kind of... When somebody attacks you at the age of 8, 9, it hits you a little differently. You don't know how to deal with it. So I really kept it quiet. Watching them smack the glass and say it was like probably 10 to 12 different types of racial slurs to my culture. I didn't say anything, and then when I got home, I think it really kind of hit me, and I kind of teared up at home, and my mom knew. Racism is something that is still prevalent in the game, and maybe hidden in certain regards, and I know certain organizations trying to step up, but that's why I've started that South Asian Hockey, is to help parents cope with it.
I also believe that does come from my generation and the generations before me, seeing that and wanting to get their kids and everybody included. So their kids, their friends' kids, and keeping them together.
I just feel that I'm happy that these parents and families have somebody there to talk to and to interact with. It's about giving them, we call it in Punjabi, sahara, support, because they feel comfortable in the dressing rooms, to be on the ice, to seeing coaches that look like them. A lot of players that were decent hockey players quit in my era, my generation. They couldn't deal with it. The parents were like, nope, we're not going to play this game. And that leads to the point, how do you navigate that? Well, now I have a program where I can talk to the youth and even talk to coaches and help out in certain realms to deal with the racial discrimination.
When you're younger, you're kind of shy to say anything. Having somebody there with more experience, somebody a little bit older, louder voice, would definitely have not calmed the room, but kind of shut everybody up from making their comments and keeping everybody included.
I think the kids know that it's bad, but they don't understand the weight of it unless you have those conversations. And so I think when those things come up, having like more serious and more in-depth conversations about what that actually means and having actual consequences to it would make a difference.
My biggest concern is the youth, right? And I'll tell them that I went through this, and this is what I'll tell them like 3 or 4 different experiences. I won't go too deep in there. And I can sense on the phone the energy of, at least there's somebody I can talk to.
You look back at when you were younger and you wish you had something like that. You wish you had those people to lean on, those people that were in your corner, everybody kind of growing together. So it really does make you feel great when you see kids enjoying their time and so included in everything.
Another message is to coaches, don't just sweep it under the rug, right? If I'm a coach and I'm coaching and I hear certain things and I might be on a vacation or something, it takes 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of your schedule, especially nowadays with our phones and stuff, we can easily connect, is to talk to the families. Don't push things aside. The biggest thing is to communicate. Talk to your parents about it. Parents have to be open to it. Kids not making excuses, especially when it comes to racial discrimination. Asking the youth to be open and be honest with what's being said.
Hockey culture aside, I think it's still one of the best sports in the world. I think it's the most fun sport to play. It's the most fun, most exciting sport to watch.
I think the hockey community can come together and kind of just include everybody. You see somebody sitting there on the side, tell them, come play. You see somebody that doesn't look the same as you, go learn about them. Go see their background, go find out what motivates them, tell them what motivates you, and create those friendships and enjoy your guys' time together.
तेरी तोरे जादू तू आना नहीं काबू पिछलो तू रहन दे सारे की कहन गए तेरी तोरे जादू तू आना नहीं काबू पिछलो तू रहन दे सारे की कहन गए पिछलो तू रहन दे पिछलो तू रहन दे पिछलो तू रहन दे सारे की कहन गए
That's a reshoot.
You go over there, and
Whoa!
Do you need somewhere to complain? Join the social club for opinionated film fans.
Scorsese's eyebrows are my spirit animal.
That is so Lynchian.
Disney? More like D's nuts.
Be proud of your beret. Join SCOFF today.
So, what is it you're trying to say with this film?
Well, I think at its core it's about people and love and a feeling that can't really be explained. It's...
Through our visuals, we aim to confront the audience about their own experiences with love, redemption, and sacrifice.
Stole my stance.
Hey, I'm here. Nate, if you were ever late again, so help me God, I will shove a triple riser combo up your ass.
Ooh, striking.
Mark. There's asparagus. Take one.
And action.
We're not so different, you and I.
How so?
We love the same.
Cut, moving train.
Well, can't we just fix that in the edit?
Justin, I just need you to relax, okay? I think you're focusing too much on the lines and you're not in the moment. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Just take some time, listen to what's being said to you, and then we'll go from there. Kate, how'd that feel?
Good. Great. Yeah, I mean, I actually memorized my lines.
Hey, well, at least I wasn't 20 minutes late to the call.
All right, it doesn't matter. Let's just go again, and remember, you two, love each other, okay?
6 globalization, take 3.
Action.
We're not so different, you and I.
How so?
We love the same.
How would you describe your...
Cut. Okay, everybody take 10.
That wasn't me.
And do you think this will meet the required deadlines?
I believe so. George Lucas once said, it's not about making a good movie, it's about how well you can make it under the circumstances.
Have you considered the possibility of potential changes to your script?
Yeah. We can adapt. We're so close. We just need this last shot and then we're wrapped.
Perfect. Just a rough start to this morning, that's all. We've got about 4 hours till wrap. That should be enough time.
Yeah. I want to make something different, you know?
We are.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Alberta's mainly known for producing westerns and cheesy feel-good films. I want to be a part of something that changes that.
Well, how are you going to do that?
Honestly, I don't know anymore. I thought with this film, but I look at the script and I look at what we just shot, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the movie we're supposed to be making.
We're creating something that comes from a place of passion. Isn't that what film's all about? You've got to believe in yourself. We can do this.
Yeah. you're right. If we could just get everyone back together and we'll go again.
You know, I'd really appreciate it if you took this a little more seriously.
Could you get off my back for like 2 seconds?
What? I am just saying.
Well, don't.
I have no idea how I'm supposed to kiss somebody as stubborn as you.
What?
Please tell me you've read up to the final scene.
Hey, do you think we can be out of here in like 20, 25-ish minutes?
No, we still have to rehearse.
Yeah. So basically, I ran into the security guard, and he told me I need something called a location permit, and I don't have that.
You didn't get the permit?
And then you two will come together, look in each other's eyes, and kiss.
You don't expect us to actually kiss, do you?
Would a side hug suffice?
No. Okay. Now is not the time to get cold feet. You two have to kiss. It's a more intimate expression of love for one another.
Hey, we got a boogie.
All right. Let's just try it out, okay?
Okay, lock it up. This is for picture. Sound?
Speeding.
Roll camera.
Rolling.
Mark it.
Action.
What is it that you were wanting to tell me?
I can't leave just yet.
Cut. They missed their mark. Just a moment, please.
Stand by.
Yeah, I'll take it over.
What's the next move?
I don't know.
Seth, you need to know.
Hey, what are you guys
Just
doing?
distract him for a minute.
You're not supposed to be up here. Hi, sorry, what are you doing here?
Sorry,
Permission.
the doctor's office.
I'm the downstairs
You know what?
office.
Just scrap it, okay?
I didn't see anything.
Cut all the dialogue. Just come together, look in each other's eyes, and if it feels natural, kiss. Okay?
That kid right there, I kicked him out of here earlier. Why is he here? No. Enough. No
If it
more
doesn't, then
dialogue.
don't.
Shutting this down
All right?
now.
Okay, let's do this, people. Okay, lock it up. This is for picture. Sound? Roll camera.
Why is it important to tell this story now?
Because it's a risk.
Focused.
Action. And you take risk for the things that you love. And if I could explain to you how much this film means to me,
Please just like.
I wouldn't. Film isn't the art of telling, it's the art of showing. So let us show you. And cut.
That's film life. You got to know it, You got to show it. Film is on your brain, taking away the pain. Time to rise to fame. That's film life. You got to prove it. You got to move it. Film is all you got. Heading to the top. Time to take your shot. That's film life. I'll be quick to send you to heaven, cause you called it a clothespin, not a C-47. You should go back to work at 7-Eleven. Don't mess with me, you have to answer to Devin.
Yo, that light's too bright.
You better start flagging.
Shut it, First AD.
You better stop nagging.
You want that truck unloaded?
Well, you better stop begging. Well, screw it, I'm union, I'm hitting the honey wagon.
See, I'm ready for the future cause I shoot in HD. Scorsese and Eastwood got nothing on me. None of this, try hard 720p. How many scan lines?
1080.
So when you're done shooting, it's time for props. Yeah. Then in 3 weeks, your picture is locked. They toss it off the audio to get it rocked. Now they're lining up around the block.
That's film life. You got to know it. You got to show it. Film is on your brain, taking away the pain. Time to rise to fame. That's film life. You got to prove it. You got to move it. Film is all you got. Heading to the top. Time to take your shot. That's film life.
Phil and Lori are the best around. Just Phil's a DOP and Lori no sound. Don't be stupid.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Once there was a quiet man who lived in the kingdom of Silkar, a massive kingdom settled at the center of the world. One terrible evening, the vile Elec led an attack on Silkar. Her soldiers and citizens alike fell to the dark forces. All hope seemed to be lost. That's when, wielding a spork, the quiet man mounted his steed and rode into battle. One by one, Ilec's forces dwindled to the fury of the spork-wielding warrior. Ilec crawled back into hiding, threatening to one day return. The kingdom of Silkar was devastated by the Dark War. Survivors spread across the land to build new settlements. They had one man to thank. From that day forth, he was known as the Spork Knight.
Come on, Jess. This is serious.
Oh, okay, serious, sure.
What, are you gonna tell us that King Arthur is real next?
Jess, think about it. One was recently spotted here, and he bore a Silkar crest.
All right, listen. You've told us this before, so we'll tell you this again. This Spork Knight is a complete myth. A bedtime tale for children.
Yeah. And even if he was real, he wouldn't be alive today. The Dark War happened hundreds of years ago. It's simply not possible. Watch your step, short sword!
Yeah, this is our tavern!
Jess.
Enough! I have slain over a dozen men at once with this here blade. Don't you think... Who the hell do you think you are? Then you'll die a nobody!
Oh, my lord. By the gods! He is real! Run away!
Well. It's good to see you. Come on, Sporky, it's me. Bagdad, the wizard.
Anything for you, sir?
Oh, sorry, lady. I got my own. Listen, I'm glad you came. I didn't summon you here without reason, Sporky. Illic has finally returned. I saw it in my greasy crystal orb. I spotted Illic at the terrible Fort Bingus. We must stop him.
Halt! You two. I've heard there was a disturbance in this here tavern. Have either of you seen any disturbances?
Why, of course not. Me and this guy have been sitting here enjoying our drinks all day, haven't we?
What do you call this, then?
No.
Oh, am I being detained?
I was only horsing around. Oh, Master Knight. Bag deer? What's going on here?
Oi! Get back here! Marcus, get out of the way! Oh, Marcus, I never quite realized the emerald of your eyes, it shines. No. Keep the sword on. Oh God, yeah.
Huh? That was supposed to make them poop their pants. Sporky, Binky, go find Illick. I'll meet you guys at Fort Bingus. I'll fend them off.
Fort Bingus? That place is so scary.
Go now, or I'll gouge you with a butter knife. A rusty butter knife.
All right, let's go, Master Knight.
Brave souls. Who knows what dangers lurk within the walls of Fort Bingus?
Well, Begdir said Illick was around here. That doesn't seem right. I just... You're right. I should just have...
Hey, you!
Begdir!
Yep. It's wizard time. I cast testicular torsion! Crumbs! That's odd.
Enough!
Followers of Illick, I, Kita, Princess of New Silkar, will break you and all your kind.
A woman? Wait, we're not followers of Illick. We're here to kill him.
You fools? Really? Not a chance. However, I never met anyone who can do battle with me for any period of time. Not since. All right, who are you? And why does that one reek of dung?
Sorry. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, Binky does that sometimes. My name's Begdir. And the big guy right there, that's Sporky.
Sporky? As in the Spork Knight? I know where Illick is hiding, but we have little time to act. Let's make haste.
At last, the time grows near.
Wait. Hold on just a second. I never thought to ask, but how did you discover the location of Illick's hideout?
What do you mean, Begdir?
Yes, Bagdir, what could possibly be wrong?
This doesn't make any sense. You don't have a greasy crystal orb.
What are you implying, wizard?
I'm implying that you're full of crap. I'm implying that you're actually... Oh!
No! Kita, why would you do that? You're not Kita, you're Illick!
Of course, you fools! With Spork Knight's power and the wizard gone, I shall reduce this world to rubble and rebuild through the ashes. I shall make haste before this power is extinguished.
Begdir! Begdir! Begdir, are you okay?
I have a hole in my chest. Illick has drained Sporky of his power. If you don't stop him, he'll destroy the world.
You? You mean we, right?
No, Binky. You too shall go.
But Master Knight's power is drained. He can't fight.
Sporky, listen now. Raise your spork to me.
Big deer. Big deer, no. Big deer. Come on. Come on, you stinking wizard. No, come on. Come on, you stinking wizard. I know. He's gone. I just... Okay, let's go. You first?
Back so soon, Spork Knight. Very well then. I shall grind your steel into dust!
Even with your rejuvenated strength, you're still just a pathetic human! Waste of flesh! After all these millennia, this world shall finally be mine!
No! You cannot do this! There must be order! Chaos cannot reign! Is it over?
I'm sorry about back, dear.
It's okay. Thank you for your help, Princess.
And thank you, brave ones, for defeating Illic and saving this land. If danger arises again, you may call upon me.
We're hitting the tavern in Mirkwood. You coming? It's okay, Master Knight. Take your time. I'll see you there. That's the magic.
Okay, let's do it.
Rolling. Okay.
Ever since the day you said goodbye, never had the chance to wonder why. Used to sit at home alone and cry, but now I think of ways for you to die. Hope you get falcon punched or you drown in the sea, and your cat gets infested with fleas. Hope you fall off a bridge or get hit by a car, or even get blinded by a shooting star. Ever since the day you said goodbye, never had the chance to wonder why. Used to sit at home alone and cry, but now I think of ways for you to die. Hope you're struck by lightning or you bust out a knee, and your body gets stung by killer bees. Hope you burn your house down or get clubbed by a mace, or a Goomba stomps you right in your face. These days I take a lot of pride in planning out your sweet demise. One of these will soon come true, then the world will be free of you. Hope you poke at an eye while zombies eat all your brains, and you're hit by a speeding freight train. Hope you swallow dry ice or get kicked in the junk. Ow! Or a gangster shoves you into his trunk. Ever since the day you said goodbye, never had the chance to wonder why. Used to sit at home alone and cry, but now I think of ways for you to die. Think of ways for you to die. Die, die. Think of ways for you to die. Die, die. Think of ways for you to die. Die, die. Think of ways for you to die. These days I take a lot of pride in planning out your sweet demise. One of these will soon come true.
Are you guys almost done yet?
You have got to try this flavor.
No, try mine.
What time is it?
It's all right. You've got some time before you have to go to work. Orange?
Yeah, sure.
You got in pretty late last night. I found you passed out on the couch. I figured I wouldn't move you.
Thanks for that. Alright. I swear I don't remember getting home last night. Yeah, there they are. Like every other day. I can help you with that.
Thank you. I don't really get your problem with androids. It's not like they're hurting anyone.
Well, it's just not natural, you know, like putting those human souls into those lifeless shells.
Come on. Is it really that bad you get to live forever?
Well, it's not just you, it's a copy of you.
Are you okay? I've got a Band-Aid. Does it hurt?
It's just a little bit, but thanks to you, I'm a bit better now.
All right, tough guy. Time to go to work.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Hey, I heard someone got replaced with Buckethead.
Stupid android. Of course they did. You know, I heard that the newest model, that apparently it is so lifelike that you can't even tell that it's a real person. So, could be anyone.
At least with the older ones, you could tell they were androids. Oh, something else that's messed up. Apparently, the biggest clients for Revive Industries are peoples whose spouses died, so they can bring them back from the dead. Like they never died in the first place. Can you imagine happening that? It's just insane. People treating people like a bunch of just phones, like a bunch of androids. Battery dies, and you just give it an update. It's just inhumane. It's crazy.
Tom? Tom? What is this? Revive Industries Partnership Protocol, subject E2043.
What are you doing here? Come on,
Hi.
get out of here. Where's the cleaning help? Shh.
Could be so loud about it. Hey, I'm home. Hello. Hey.
Oh. I didn't hear you come in.
You doing okay?
Yeah. I'm all right.
Still, wearing my hoodie, huh?
It's comfortable, you know? Makes me think of you. How are you?
It's been kind of a weird day. I don't really feel like me.
Well, you are you, Ethan. And I love you.
I love you too. There they are. Yeah, like every other fucking day. Receipts. This is groceries and clothes. Vive Industries. Subject E2043. No way, I'm not fucking one of those things. I'm not one of those things. No, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't fucking. She wouldn't.
The biggest clients for Revive Industries, whose spouses died.
You know, I don't understand your problem with androids. It's not like they're hurting anyone. Hey, I'm home. Ethan, what happened? Did you do this?
I saw the photos.
The photos. What are you talking about? Why would you do this, Ethan?
I do this? Why would I do this? Why would you turn me into this thing?
I couldn't live without you, Ethan. I love you.
After everything that I said about these fucking androids, you still turned me into one! You betrayed me!
Please don't leave me, Ethan. I can't lose you again.
No, I am not Ethan! He died when you turned him into this.
Please send someone. My husband went and found out again.
I rule. Break some teeth if you're gonna swing, bitch!
What are you doing? We're gonna be late.
How are you? What are you doing here?
We're not going to make it.
It's hard. And I'm sorry. I know I hurt you.
No. Not this. What is this?
I still love you, and I just want you to know that.
No! You don't! You! This isn't real!
I'm sorry.
Valerie? What is this? Where's Valerie?
You're funny.
What then? What do you want?
Such a privilege to want, to desire, a desire to live, a desire to love, a privilege we do not share. Your pain, your rapture, this amalgamation of feelings, but you are special.
But why?
You have a choice, a matter of life and death, a say in your fate.
It was an accident.
You cannot hide what I've seen. Death. How intoxicating it must be. The finality. The release. I envy you. You got to feel the sun on your skin, the warmth of a hand in yours, the soft whisper of a breeze. How I long to understand life in its entirety.
Why me?
You, a doorway. I take your form, your flawed heart, you, in turn, reside in me. An eternal life.
With her.
Forever aware of that fateful moment. It is a curious irony, isn't it? You have what I desire. I have what you fear. So, what would it be?
I've been